Hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, Giselle revealed that she has been in contact with Dorian's parents, and they want to set up some sort of secret meeting. Aenor really isn't down for that. You know, Dorian should know what his parents are plotting. And at the end of the last episode, Josephine was telling us about the judgments we must make, and I think it is high time we start. So fancy.
This was a surprise. After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
I love that cutscene with the goat. Are you still a threat with a goat? I'm judging leftovers now. Yeah, pardon?
You answered the death of your clan with a goat?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Don't look at me.
No foul. You meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
Drive them out of my lands. Is it called a gibbet? Arm and exile him to Tevinter. Now, here's the thing. I would imagine that Josephine has maybe written up a list of possibilities and has handed them to Aenor, because Aenor... Like, literally, I said this in the last episode. Aenor is not a judge. She is not aware of the laws of the land, or at least, you know, the intricacies. Obviously, you know, don't kill, don't steal, the obvious laws she is aware of, but the intricacies of it, this goes completely over her head. So I would imagine that Josephine has, you know, written out some options and handed them to Aenor. I'm gonna be honest, I don't necessarily like any of these. Because here's the thing, drive them out of my lands. Since when do we have lands? Because bearing in mind, we don't own Skyhold. We found it. We're living here. We're building on it. We don't own this land. This isn't ours. We are effectively squatting. So this makes no sense. Is it called a gibbet? We're going to lock him in a cage. Why? He really didn't do anything. He just threw some goats at the walls, and apparently that's his culture. We killed his son, you know, in the Fallow Mire. Yes, they attacked us first, but we still killed his son. And he's like, okay, well, custom demands that I go and chuck goats at their building. Like, he didn't do anything worse than that. It feels a bit dodgy to toss him in a gibbet when we killed his kid, and arm and exile him to let's try that again. Arm and exile him to Tevinter. What right do we have? Again, what right do we have to do either of these? We are not a democratically elected official. I just want to point out, everyone says, why is Tegan being such a bitch in Trespasser? This is why. This is why we have no rights here. We have no rights, and we are acting like we are judge, jury, and executioner. That's why he's pissed. Out of all of them, this is the one I dislike the least. Again, we killed his son. He answered as is customary. We have no lands. Where are we going to drive them out from? So I guess if Josephine is saying, A, we can do this, and he did mention that his clan wanted to kill Tevinters, it seems a little bit dodgy, but like I said, out of all of them, this is the one I find least offensive.
It seems our conflict was accidental, Chief Movran, but it can't be repeated. I banish you and your clan, with as many weapons as you can carry, to Tevinter.
My idiot boy got us something after all.
I would also imagine that Josephine probably wrote that little speech that Aenor delivered there, because again, Aenor wouldn't know how to... She wouldn't know how to say that on her own. That sounds daft. But like I said, she's not a public speaker. So yeah, I imagine that Josephine, she had like, okay, if you want to do this, then say this. If you want to do this, then say this. And if you want to exile him, then say this. And, you know, Aenor just followed instructions. We do have another, but again, I'm inclined to leave it. There's plenty more to see. Yeah, we do still need to find the war room. I believe it's down here. Ooh. We also have down there. Hello, Josephine. Hope you're doing right. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at the little dust motes. Oh. Again, I know I say this a lot, but the best graphics are the best. Ultra graphics are amazing. It looks so beautiful. Oh. I'm in awe. I'm in awe. Okay, and let's see. What do we have? Yes, Josie got us some money. Excellent. Okay, now then. You know what, let me...
Skyhold does seem more secure than Haven.
Only if we have the numbers to defend it. A place like this serves no purpose without enough people to make the running worthwhile.
Let's see, do I have... It seems I don't have many of the Skyhold missions written down. Let's see. What about Orlais? Yeah,
The city has agreed to send us 6 guardsmen.
Not raw recruits. With luck, they'll know which end to grip a sword by.
Yeah, I do not have any of these written down, in which case... I'm pretty sure this is an instant quest. Yeah, okay. Acquire the Arcanist. Skyhold has incredible potential for runecrafting and mastercraft smithing. If only we had a gifted mind to gain full benefit. The War and the Venatori have claimed many experts, but we have located an Arcanist with great skill and a reputation for humbling first enchanters in both Andrastian and Imperial circles. 2 assassination attempts, and at least 1 explosion, have made landholders reluctant to allow her passage through their territory. It will take significant effort to bring her from Tantervale, but this Arcanist would be invaluable to the Inquisition. Josephine says, Alliance can overwhelm any concern. The owners of where she will travel need only be convinced of the worth of pleasing us. Liliana says, to bar passage, they must know she's there. They will not. And Cullen says, a full retinue will secure her safely along the Imperial Highway. I'm inclined to go with either Liliana or Cullen. Just because, again, this seems kind of like, okay, we're going to manipulate people into, you know, doing what we want. And I don't think Aenor would go for that. And again, if anyone finds out what we're doing, then that could come back to bite us in the arse. So again, I think it's better to just be honest and have her go along the Imperial Highway. Acquire the Arcanist. The Arcanist has been secured, despite great cost and the concern of more than a few traditional-minded mages. She awaits a meeting with the Inquisitor in the Undercroft. Who do you think that is? I'll give you 3 guesses. Who do you think that is? Now then, everyone else. Okay, gather coin. Skyhold is not a centre of trade, though it could become one in time. The Inquisition is largely driven by the belief of its supporters, some of whom are quite wealthy, but if it is to grow, it will need access to coin of its own. Josephine says, my family has earned coin as honest traders for generations. I would be happy to employ my skills on the Inquisition's behalf. Liliana says, we have information many would pay dearly for. Let us sell anything that does not harm us in return. And Cullen says, there are many wealthy patrons who would pay for our protection and even our good graces. Let them. And Josephine, if you would be so kind. And the other 2... Yes, we should now have resource missions. This is like gather coin in that it will never go and you can just send your advisors out to gather various resources. Hinterland resources. The Hinterlands is a notable source of elfruit and onyx. Inquisition forces at camp could search for these resources and arrange shipment to Skyhold. Josephine says, anything can be useful, let them take whatever they can find. Liliana says we should focus on finding new sources of healing herbs. And Cullen says our men should focus on gathering the onyx and Drakestone. So yeah, Josephine will gather anything. Liliana will focus on herbs. Cullen will focus on stones and metals. What can we get in the Fallow Mire? Blood Lotus and Dawn Lotus are both found in the Fallow Mire. The area is also known for Summerstone and Blue Vitriol. Now that the Inquisition has established a camp in the region, they could instruct the men to seek out these resources and send anything they find to Skyhold. Yeah, we need more Blood Lotus.
Let's see what we have.
And Cullen, you can get me some onyx.
All right.
Excellent. Okie doke, good stuff. Now back to my timer. Yes, we still have plenty of places to explore. And we need to see if anyone knows anything about those turnips that guy mentioned in the hall. That really was quite odd. Look at this place. You've got to wonder what this was.
A wheel of Antivan smoked cheese, and now 3 royals worth of crushed mint. They were right here. I remember seeing someone take them. I can't recall their face.
More stuff going missing. How odd. Yeah, and here we have all of our wines that we have been collecting. Yep, and here we have what looks like one of Varric's romance novels and a sock. We're not going to touch that. We're just going to leave that be. No, thank you. What's through here? Ah, okay, yes. Like a study. Properly cobwebbed up as well. Ooh. There's number 5. I think we just need 3. I think... What is green? What is green? Imagine I should present to you an object which, to my mind, is of indisputable greenness, and ask, does this thing appear to you to be green? Naturally, you might say that it does, for you have come to recognize the appearance of the colour of the object to be green, associating the word with what your eyes see. But could it be my understanding of green differs entirely from yours? What if, perchance, you could see into my mind? You might actually realise that all things I name green are actually red in your understanding. Ah, without the moorings of objective truth, we are set adrift in oceans of solitary experience. The promising opening to a lecture given by Carsten Groke, philosopher-poet at the University of Orlais. The lecture's quality dropped significantly after this point, and ended quickly when Groke subjected audience members to a poorly constructed ode to chartreuse. He fled from the auditorium under fire from students armed with overripe red tomatoes. We also have you. The Pyramids of Parvolan. The island called Parvolan was the first land in Thedas to be taken by the Qunari, and has been held by them ever since. But while the Qunari have raised their own marvels on the island, the famed city of Qunandar comes to mind. Parvolan had a rich history before the Qun ever came to its shores. Tear your eyes from Qunandar's wonders and look instead to the jungle. There you'll see the ruins of vast cities that proclaim in silence, "We were here." Parvolan's distinctive pyramids, looming from the overgrowth, have remained largely intact, even if their intended purpose has been lost. They do not seem to be tombs, though some chambers contain bodies that have been carefully preserved. Amazingly, the pyramid's proportions are mathematically perfect. Since their alignment is so precise, one suspects they served some scientific purpose. Observatories, perhaps? Anne van Thrastes has observed that the shape of the Parvolan pyramids seems perfectly to match the constellation Solium. We know more of the pyramids than we do of the humans who built them. The Qunari came to Parvolan as conquerors, but there is no history and little sign of battles fought on the island's shores. A civilization that could build such vast cities would surely have defences, armies, perhaps weapons alien even to the Qunari. So why is there so little proof of resistance? One answer may lie in what remains of their temples. Beneath the leaves and vines covering the walls, you can still make out the stylized carvings that adorn them. The paint has long since flaked away, but the silhouettes are clear. Intricate sea creatures, shipwrights, musicians, archers and kings. Here and there, odd figures are depicted. Tall, horned, always in a position of authority and respect. What were these horned figures to the ancients of Parvolan? Priests, ritualistically crowned? Heroes? Gods, perhaps? We may never know the truth, but when the Qunari arrived from the sea, horned and carrying the word of the Qun, perhaps instead of conquerors, the people of Parvolan saw an old legend returning to them. This is all supposition. The humans of Parvolan are Qunari now, their ancient civilization discarded like a child's toy. Yet the pyramids remain, along with the old cities, the island itself. One day, greater scholars may hear what they have to say. From A Compiled History of the Occupied North by Renatus of Iresley. I find this so interesting. This is such an interesting codex entry. It really does make you think. And The First Blight, Chapter 2. People today have little concept of the consequences of the second sin. Oh, believe me when I say that when asked, pious chantry-going folk will curse the use of foul magic, spitting and snapping their fingers. But none live today who actually remember the horror that was unleashed so very long ago. Whatever records might have existed regrettably did not survive the chaos and ignorance that was to follow. We have only the tales of survivors handed down through the murky ages and the dogma of the Chantry to instruct us, and that is precious little indeed. I believe I am not understating when I say that the second sin unleashed the bane of all life upon Thedas. The Darkspawn are more virulent than the worst plague, a heartless force of nature that came into our world like an ill wind. We know from accounts of later blights, as these Darkspawn invasions came to be called, never has a more appropriate name existed, that the Darkspawn spread disease and famine wherever they tread. The earth itself is corrupted by their presence, the sky roiling with angry black clouds. I do not exaggerate, my friends, when I say that a mass gathering of Darkspawn is an omen of dread cataclysm. It is said that those cursed magisters who became the first Darkspawn scratched at the very earth to find solace in the darkness of Again, I apologise, my throat is killing me right now. 1 second, I need to take a sip. I'm drinking orange squash today. Refreshing. Okay, where were we? We'll start from the top. It is said that those cursed magisters who became the first Darkspawn scratched at the very earth to find solace in the darkness of the dwarven deep roads, and there in the shadows they multiplied. Whether by intelligent design or by some last vestige of worship in their minds, they attempted to locate the old gods they had once served. They found what they sought. Dumat, first amongst the old gods, once known as the Dragon of Silence before the Maker imprisoned him and all his brethren beneath the earth for the first sin, usurping the Maker's place in mankind's heart. The slumbering dragon awoke, freed from the Maker's prison by his twisted followers, and became corrupted himself. Dumat was transformed into the first archdemon, his great and terrible power given will by a rotting, unholy mind. With the Darkspawn horde following, Dumat rose and took wing in the skies once again, bringing ruin to the world the Maker had created. The old god had become the eye of a dark storm that would ravage the entire world. From Tales of the Destruction of Thedas by Brother Genitivi, Chantry Scholar. Very interesting. Okay, and now then. What was through this door? We heard speaking. Aha! The kitchen's nice. Very nice. Note from the Skyhold kitchens, again. If I ever find out who put the turnips in the fireplace, I will personally feed them into the meat grinder. Head cook Donatienne. Another note from the Skyhold kitchens. Once again, please keep the elf out of the kitchen. And check the sugar daily to make sure it is still sugar and not salt. Head cook Donatienne. Beneath this is written, try keeping this out, followed by an arrow pointing towards a crude drawing of a phallus. Sarah! Why you do this? A note from the Skyhold kitchens, a request for supplies. Potatoes, 500. Flour, 50 sacks. Dried peas, 100 sacks. Salted meat, as much as possible. Willow switches, 4, to break in the new kitchen hands. Oof! Oof to that last one. Yet another note from the kitchens. How many times do I have to say this? If it falls on the floor, it's still good to eat. Head cook Donatienne. Damn, this head cook sounds rather nasty if you ask me. Yeah, and this is the area of Skyhold that we couldn't get to before. Now then, Dennett.
Never had better.
Indeed, they haven't.
Inquisition?
Yeah, how are the horses doing?
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Surprisingly well. Not many could feed these people, let alone their mounts. Makes me wonder what you're capable of.
And how's your family?
Are your wife and daughter doing well?
Elena's minding the farms. Sienna's still running her full races. Wouldn't be fair to drag them up here. I miss them. But someone has to save the world.
Indeed.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
Indeed, Dennett. And yeah, I'm still happy riding Chestnut around. Do I want to talk to Blackwall? I don't know. Let's give him a break for now. Oh, and Cullen's back. Hey. Okay, nothing up here. Good stuff. Whee! And then, oh, excuse me. You don't have anything to say. Now, Bonnie Sims, hello.
Lady Inquisitor, Bonnie Sims at your service. I trust good secret was not too coarse. Now that you've come to some good fortune, you deserve an upgrade. As master of the tradesman, I stand ready to supply your every need.
Yes, this is what Segrit was talking about. He got fired and this Bonnie Sims person has taken his role. Yeah, how's business doing?
How are you doing? Good business?
Building, always building, thanks to you.
And the tradesmen?
Who or what are the tradesmen?
A following of sympathetic and profit-minded individuals who promote local craftsmen and fair importers. A guild of sorts. Although that implies counter-affiliations we are not interested in crossing. Our purpose in the Inquisition is legitimate and honorable. You will have what you need at honest prices.
Yeah, where has Segrit gone exactly, first and foremost?
Segrit survived Haven. Where is he?
About? Doing good work for you and yours? But this position is now more desirable. It was time arrangements were made. I shall make every effort to prove that this is an upgrade.
And what can you do for me exactly?
What do you bring to the Inquisition?
What you need, and more. It takes great coordination to make a remote location seem central. While there is no doubt the boutiques of Valreo display the grandest of the grand, they do not travel. At least, not yet.
Why are you a mere merchant if you're the master of this group?
I wish to avoid the suggestion that I am a posturing commander atop a structure of malcontents. It is better to remain active, hands-on. Do you not agree, Inquisitor?
Fair.
We'll speak another time.
Of course, Lady Inquisitor.
Was there anything else?
I am at your service.
Yeah, how can I bring in commerce?
Skyhold needs a healthy flow of goods. How can I help?
Free the trade routes of obstruction. Restore security to the outposts, the keeps. And the merchants will find you.
Okay.
We'll speak another time.
Of course, Lady Inquisitor.
Some handy advice there.
I'm working with you, I'm not one of them. What, assassins, Templars, mages, magisters?
No, one of them.
Sisters, nobles, merchants, commission men?
Elves, you twit.
Bitch!
Shit. Human.
We have racists in our employ, goddamn! For fuck's sake, I risked my life at Haven. Fuck you, sir. Thank you, Sir Dwarf. Thank you for being like, oh, this hoe. Okie doke. Ooh, hello. Construction report. Mixed elements. I'll match best I can, but there are two substructures here. Skyhold was built in stages. Or rebuilt. Is this where we want to invest? If it's fallen before, how can we be sure it won't fall again? Jane, foundation repair. 2 words. The Inquisitor. Invest and commit. We are as strong as the will of the weakest of us. Cassandra Pendergast. Oh, I like that. I like that final line there. Oh, right. You know what? I'm gonna just run around here because I think... Hey, Thren, hello! Does anyone... Someone should have something to say, I think. Maybe not. Okie doke. In the next episode, again, more exploring Skyhold. I'm sure there are some people like, when are you gonna go speak with Varric on the battlements? I'm gonna be honest, I am putting that off. Because I've never... again, I'm trying to be vague here. Something happens when you go up to the battlements, and I've never been able to do that thing to a point where I'm satisfied with it. I always leave that and I think, no, that doesn't look quite right. That could look better. So I'm not going to lie, I am putting it off a little bit. Yeah, in the next episode, we're going to go speak with Ren, going to keep exploring Skyhold, all that good shit. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.